this video tutorial, we'll take a look at graphing a linear equation by making a table. We are going to graph the linear equation y equals 3x minus 1 by making a table. It is easiest to use the strategy of making a table to graph a linear equation when the equation is already solved for one variable, as it is here. To begin, we will choose different x values to plug into our equation to determine what y would be for that specific x value. We can choose any x value that we want. The first one we will choose is 1. Now we have to plug this x value into our equation to determine what y will be when x is 1. So we substitute 1 for x and do 3 times 1, which is 3. Then we do 3 minus 1, which is 2. So for the equation y equals 3x minus 1, when x is 1, y is 2. Now we are going to use these x and y values to write an ordered pair that can be graphed on the coordinate plane. Remember, the x-coordinate comes before the y-coordinate when working with ordered pairs. So our ordered pair is 1, 2, because x is 1 and y is 2. We can graph 1, 2 on the coordinate plane. Next, let's choose another x value. Again, we can choose any x value that we would like. We're going to choose negative 2. We need to plug this negative 2 in for x in our equation. Then we have to do 3 times negative 2 once we have substituted the negative 2 for x, which is negative 6. Then we do negative 6 minus 1, which is negative 7. So y equals negative 7. So for the equation y equals 3x minus 1, when x is negative 2, y is negative 7. So negative 2, negative 7 becomes our second ordered pair. We can graph this on the coordinate plane. At this point, we can draw our line, because we only need 2 points to draw the line. So this would be the graph for y equals 3x minus 1. It's important to reflect quickly on the fact that we could have chosen any values for x and still come up with the same line. We chose 1 and negative 2. We could have chosen 2. Let's plug 2 in for x and see what happens. 3 times 2 would be 6. Then we do 6 minus 1, which is 5. So y equals 5. So this particular ordered pair would be 2, 5. When this ordered pair is plotted on the coordinate plane, we see that it falls directly on the line we have already graphed for y equals 3x minus 1. Again, you can choose any x value and you will come up with the same line. Let's try another example. Let's graph y equals negative 4x plus 5 using a table. As already demonstrated, we can choose any x value. We will choose 1 and 2. Let's start by plugging 1 in for x in our equation. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, and negative 4 plus 5 is 1, so y equals 1. So when x is 1, y would also be 1. The ordered pair would be 1, 1. Let's plot this ordered pair on the coordinate plane. Next, we will substitute 2 for x in our equation. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8, and negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. So when x is 2, y is negative 3. This ordered pair would be 2, negative 3. After plotting this on the coordinate plane, we now have 2 points, so we can draw our line. So this would be the graph for y equals negative 4x plus 5. The strategy of making a table of values to graph a linear equation is fairly simple, but it is important that the equation is already solved for one variable. In both of our examples, our equations have been solved for y. This would be an example, 2x plus 3y equals 7, of a linear equation that making a table for would not necessarily be the easiest strategy. There is another strategy that we will learn coming up in this book that would be better suited for this particular type of equation. It should be noted, though, that making a table would work to graph any linear equation, including this one. It just might not be the best approach.